Have you ever caught yourself thinking, I don't bounce back like I used to? Whether it's from a cold, a bad night's sleep, or even just a long walk around the block. You're not alone. After 75, the body doesn't move or recover the same way it did at 50, or even 65. And that's okay. But here's the thing no one tells you. While growing older is natural, how you age is often in your hands more than you think. You see, most people believe that poor health after 75 is just inevitable, that it's all downhill from here. But that simply isn't true. In fact, the vast majority of deaths in this age group, about 99%, can be traced back to just a handful of causes. That means, with a few small changes, many of these can actually be avoided or delayed. Imagine that. More years doing what you love, waking up feeling good, and not being held hostage by medications, hospital visits, or constant fatigue. In today's video, we're going to talk about 5 of the biggest reasons people pass away after the age of 75, and more importantly, what you can do about them starting today. No, this isn't about turning back the clock. It's about taking control of what's still in your power, because there's a lot more than you might think. So, let's get into the first and probably most silent danger of all, chronic inflammation. Doesn't sound too dramatic, does it? But it's been called the secret killer for a reason. It sneaks in slowly. Maybe you just feel a bit more achy in the knees, or your digestion isn't what it used to be, or you're just tired all the time. Those little signs, they could be your body's way of telling you it's inflamed. Chronic inflammation is behind nearly every major condition that takes lives after 75. Heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes. It's like a slow-burning fire in the body, quietly damaging tissues and organs over time. But here's the silver lining, you can calm that fire. One of the best places to start? Your plate. What you eat every day can either fuel inflammation or fight it. A simple example? Start swapping out processed foods with real whole ones. Instead of sugary cereals or pastries in the morning, try oats topped with berries and walnuts. Snack on almonds instead of chips. And if you can, add leafy greens to at least one meal a day. Spinach, kale, even a simple salad. It adds up. These changes aren't about going on a diet. They're about choosing foods that support your body instead of stressing it out. But food is just one piece. Movement plays a role too. And no, I don't mean hitting the gym or running marathons. I mean gentle, consistent activity. Even a 20-minute walk each day helps reduce inflammation levels in the body. And if you enjoy dancing, gardening, or even stretching while watching TV, guess what? That counts. The key is consistency, not intensity. Now let's move on to the second major reason people pass away after 75, and that's simple falls. Yes, simple falls. You might be surprised, but falls are actually one of the leading causes of death in older adults. And it's not because the fall itself is that dangerous, it's what happens after. A broken hip, time in the hospital, the long recovery, and the toll it takes on the body and the mind. The worst part? Many falls are preventable. You can start by making your home safer. Take a walk through your space and look at it with fresh eyes. Are there rugs that could slide under your feet? Electrical cords that stick out? Poor lighting in the hallway or bathroom? These little hazards can lead to big problems, but they're easy to fix. A little rearranging today could mean a lot more independence tomorrow. But more than just adjusting your home, strengthening your balance is key. It's something most people forget to work on, yet it's one of the best ways to protect yourself. Try standing on one foot while brushing your teeth. Hold on to the counter for support at first, then try letting go. Tai Chi is another wonderful, low-impact practice that improves balance and coordination. even 5 minutes a day makes a difference. And don't forget your legs. Strong legs are your best defense against falls. Simple exercises like standing up from a chair without using your hands or going up and down a couple of steps can rebuild that strength. You don't need a personal trainer, you just need to keep those muscles moving. Now, the third reason, and this one hits closer to the heart, literally, is cardiovascular disease. After 75, the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and other heart-related conditions increases significantly. But again, much of this risk can be managed. Think of your heart like a car engine. It needs regular maintenance and the right fuel to keep running smoothly. Start by checking in with your body. Are you out of breath more often than you used to be? Do your ankles swell up in the evening? Do you get tired faster, even from small tasks? These might be signs your heart is asking for a little extra care. A big part of that care, again, goes back to lifestyle. We already talked about food and movement, but let's not forget stress. Chronic stress raises blood pressure, puts pressure on your arteries, and can even trigger heart problems. And let's be honest, just because we're older doesn't mean we don't worry. Sometimes we worry more about health, about loved ones, about the future. So finding ways to relax your nervous system is not a luxury, it's essential. That might mean spending quiet time in nature, listening to calming music, practicing slow, deep breathing, or even just talking to someone regularly. Whether that's a friend, a neighbor, or a good book, it all helps. Connection, calm, and comfort, your heart thrives on it. Now that we've looked at inflammation, falls, and heart disease, it's clear that even small daily habits can protect us from some of the biggest health threats after 75. You don't need a medical degree or a miracle cure, just a willingness to tune into your body, listen to it, and treat it with care.
It might not sound like a medical issue at first, but let me tell you, loneliness is far more powerful than most people realize. After 75, many folks find their social circles shrinking. Friends move away or pass on. Family members get busy. The phone rings less. The days get quieter. And while silence can be peaceful, too much of it can weigh on the heart and mind. Loneliness doesn't just make you feel sad. It affects your body in real, measurable ways. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness can increase your risk of dementia, heart disease, high blood pressure, and even early death. In fact, it can be as damaging to your health as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. That's how serious it is. But the good news is that loneliness can be treated, and not just with company. You see, it's not about how many people you have around. It's about how connected you feel. One warm conversation can brighten a week. One shared laugh can ease the weight of a lonely afternoon. So how do we bring more of that into our lives? Start small. If you haven't called an old friend in a while, pick up the phone. You don't need a reason. Just ask how they're doing. Chances are they'll be thrilled to hear your voice. If there's a community center nearby, check in and see if they have activities. Book clubs, walking groups, even chair yoga classes. It's not about the activity itself, but the chance to interact. Don't underestimate the power of routine either. Even just chatting with your local pharmacist, the cashier at the grocery store, or a neighbor passing by can make you feel more connected. And if you're comfortable using technology, apps like Zoom or WhatsApp can bridge the gap with family who live far away. You don't have to become a tech whiz overnight. Just learning how to make a video call can open a whole new door. And here's something you may not expect. Giving can be one of the best ways to feel less lonely. When you offer your time, wisdom, or kindness to someone else, you feel a sense of purpose. That could mean writing letters to grandchildren, volunteering at a local group, or even just checking in on someone you know might also be feeling alone. When you lift someone else's spirit, yours lifts too. Now, let's turn to something many people avoid talking about, but it affects nearly everyone as they age: muscle loss. After 75, we naturally start losing muscle at a much faster rate, And that's not just about strength. It's about everything from balance to metabolism to immune health. If you've noticed that you're getting weaker or it's harder to carry groceries, open jars, or get up from a low chair, it's likely due to muscle loss. And here's the danger. Once that muscle disappears, it becomes harder to stay active, which leads to even more weakness. It's a cycle. And that cycle can quietly steal independence. But it doesn't have to. Because here's the encouraging part. No matter your age, you can build muscle. Yes, even after 75. You don't need to lift heavy weights or go to a gym. You just need to challenge your muscles a little bit more than they're used to regularly. That could mean using resistance bands at home, doing simple body weight exercises like wall push-ups or standing calf raises, or using light dumbbells. Start with just 1 or 2 pounds. Even using cans from the pantry can do the trick if that's what you have. Protein is key too. Many older adults aren't getting enough, and that makes it harder for the body to repair and build muscle. Try to include a little protein at every meal. Eggs, beans, chicken, fish, yogurt, even a glass of milk or a handful of nuts can help. If you're unsure how much is right for you, talk to your doctor or a dietitian. They can help you tailor it to your needs. Another powerful step? Stay hydrated. Muscles need water to function well. And the older we get, the less our bodies sense thirst, so dehydration becomes more common and more dangerous. Try sipping water throughout the day, even if you're not thirsty. If plain water isn't appealing, herbal tea or a little fruit in your water can make it more enjoyable. The goal isn't to become a bodybuilder. It's to keep your body strong enough to carry you through your life, whether that's getting out of bed easily, playing with your grandkids, or enjoying your garden without needing help. Strength is freedom, and freedom is priceless. As we talk about all these physical changes, muscle loss, heart health, inflammation, and falls, there's one thread that ties them all together: awareness. When you're paying attention to your body and what it's telling you, you're already halfway towards protecting your health. And that brings us to one final but incredibly important factor that plays a role in longevity after 75: the mind. Not just brain health, but your outlook, your attitude towards aging. It might sound simple, but your mindset has an enormous impact on your health. Studies show that people who believe they can stay healthy and active as they age actually do. They walk more, recover faster, and even live longer. It's not magic, it's motivation. Belief becomes behavior. When you wake up in the morning, how do you talk to yourself? Do you say, "I'm old, everything hurts, I can't do what I used to"? Or do you say, "I'm here, I'm breathing, and I'm still capable of taking one more step today"? That inner voice matters, because every small step you take, choosing a healthier meal, calling a friend, doing a few stretches, is a signal to your brain that you're not giving up, that you're still in this. And you are.
Memory loss, confusion, slower thinking. It's one of the things people fear most about aging. And with good reason. Conditions like dementia and Alzheimer's aren't just hard on the person going through them. They deeply affect family, friends, and quality of life. But what many people don't realize is that cognitive decline doesn't have to be inevitable. In fact, there's a lot you can do right now to keep your brain sharp, alert, and active. Think of your brain like a garden. If you water it, nourish it, and keep the weeds out, it can keep blooming for a long, long time. But neglect it, and it starts to wither. The same way your muscles need movement and your heart needs care, your brain needs exercise and the right environment to thrive. So, where do you start? First, let's talk about learning. One of the most powerful ways to keep your mind strong is to stay curious. Challenge yourself regularly. Read something new. Try a crossword puzzle. Watch a documentary. Learn a new card game. You don't need to go back to school. You just need to keep your brain engaged. When you stretch your thinking, your brain literally builds new connections. And that's exactly what helps protect it from decline.
But it's not just mental activity that makes a difference. Physical activity plays a huge role too. Walking, stretching, dancing, even light housework. It all gets your blood flowing. And better circulation means more oxygen to your brain. More oxygen means better memory, sharper focus, and lower risk of conditions like dementia. Sleep is another big piece of the puzzle. After 75, many people start sleeping less or waking up more during the night. But quality sleep is when your brain clears out waste, processes memories, and resets. Without it, you're not giving your brain the rest it needs. If you're having trouble sleeping, start with the basics. Keep a consistent bedtime, avoid screens and heavy meals before bed, and create a calm, cool environment for rest. Even small improvements to your sleep routine can lead to clearer thinking and more energy. And let's not forget food. Just like your heart, your brain needs the right fuel. Omega-3 fats found in fish like salmon or sardines are especially powerful for brain health. Leafy greens, berries, nuts, and seeds are also great choices. They help protect your brain from oxidative stress, the kind of slow damage that builds up over time. The fewer processed foods and added sugars you eat, the better your brain will function in the long run. Now, as we talk about brain health, there's one surprising thing that makes a bigger impact than all the vitamins, books, and brain games combined. Purpose. That's right, having a reason to get up in the morning, something to look forward to, something that makes you feel needed. That can be a project, a routine, a hobby, a relationship, anything that reminds you that your life still has meaning. Purpose gives your brain a reason to stay engaged. It lifts your mood, keeps you motivated, and drives you to stay active. Maybe it's tending to a garden, writing letters to family, mentoring someone younger, or even just keeping your home in order. When you feel that what you do matters, your brain responds by staying alert, focused, and emotionally resilient. So let's step back and take a breath. We've talked about 5 main reasons people tend to pass away after 75. Chronic inflammation, falls, heart disease, loneliness, and cognitive decline. And while those may sound overwhelming, the truth is you have more power over them than you may have been told. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You just need to take one small step, then another. Maybe that's choosing fruit instead of cookies this afternoon, or going for a walk after dinner instead of turning on the TV, or calling someone you miss, or doing 5 gentle squats before bed. These may seem like tiny acts, but together they can add years to your life and life to your years. One of the greatest myths about aging is that it's just a slow decline. But aging is also growth. It's wisdom. It's freedom. It's time. And it's yours to shape. You still have chapters left to write, memories to make, and people who need your voice, your experience, your light. The truth is, living longer doesn't mean much if you're not also living better. And better doesn't have to mean perfect. It just means present, engaged, choosing to care for yourself a little more each day. So if you're watching this and feeling unsure about where to begin, just start where you are, right here, right now. You've already taken the first step by watching this video. You've made the choice to learn, to take control, to keep going. And that deserves celebration. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one small thing you're going to try this week? Is it eating more vegetables, reaching out to a friend, trying a balance exercise? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one, and your words might just inspire someone else who's watching this looking for that same spark. If this video spoke to you, give it a thumbs up. It really helps more people find this kind of content. And if you want more practical, uplifting tips about staying healthy, strong, and vibrant after 60, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. There's so much more we're going to talk about together. You've come this far, and you're still going strong. No matter your age, your health journey isn't over. In fact, some of your best days may still be ahead.
All it takes is a little intention, a little love for yourself, and the belief that you can make a difference in your own life. Here's to living longer, living better, and living fully. You've got this.